France 1, Paraguay 0. This game was the total remake of the 1998 France versus Paraguay. And that year, Paraguay took France to the extra time. In those days, if you scored during the extra time, the goal was called the golden goal. So like it was over. Emmanuel Petit qualified France to the next round. Paraguayan came and they played the same tactic. They refused to play. They were kicking people around. And the crazy part, they got only one yellow card. So the referee was bad. But the France Paraguay game wasn't the only game that took place today. Morocco, the best team in Africa, destroyed our neighbor Canadian 3-0. But let's be honest, that first half was a tactical genius from the Canadian because they were able to cut off every tactical power that Morocco had. It was beautiful to watch. It was different than what Paraguay was doing against France. So we're gonna try to analyze this game because it will be Morocco versus France in the quarterfinal. The remake, the rematch of the 2022 FIFA World Cup semifinal, which Morocco lost to France 2-0 and France went on to lose to Argentina. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another video. Welcome to the world of soccer. If you're not allowed to subscribe, do me a favor, subscribe, like, and share this with your friend. If you follow me on other platform, make sure to like and share. Without wasting any time, we're gonna start. I love the Moroccan, but we're gonna start with the French. Kylian Mbappe in the 17th minute score a penalty qualifying France to the quarterfinal. But prior to that, the game was like very tough to analyze because somewhere there is a romanticization of the defensive work, but there is some dirtiness that the Paraguayan put in this game. For the first time, the whole audience, fan, pundit, everyone wanted this team to go home because they weren't playing football. They were just trying to fighting for no reason. I don't understand. They played with 5 defenders against Almain, Germany. They played 4, and against France, this guy went on to play. They took one striker out. They bring back in Alderete, the guy who played for Sunderland. They were playing 5 compact defensive line. It was 5-4-1. Only Enciso was up there. He wasn't even like they weren't doing anything. And Caceres, Velasquez, those guys are dog, bro. Like, yo, at some point in the game, I was so mad at the ref. I said, how can you let this thing go? Like, they were kicking people around. They were talking dirty. At some point, you see Barcola, like Velasquez, Velasquez was coming, talking shit to him. And then you could hear Barcola saying, what are you going to do? Because, like, I admire and appreciate the French composer during this game because Paraguay did everything to take out the French out of this game to make them angry so they can get a red card. Maybe at 10 vs 11, the game would be like a little bit fun to watch. But Paraguay was like kicking people around. They're dirty, bro. But France, like as Mbappe said after the game, we saw them. If they want to play dirty football, we can play dirty football too. And even in that, we beat them. He was saying that in different language. He said it in Spanish, in French, and in English because I was watching all the interview. It was crazy. I love how DJ Desan were able to keep this team on the right, like to keep them on track, to not to fight. Because like Paraguayan that's the only thing the Paraguayan was looking for that day. But hey, when you have a team, Dembele, Olise, Barcola, Mbappe, Rabiot, Kone, because Kone played today because Chouameni forfeited the game before the start, and Jules Kounde, Upamecano, Saliba, Dean. So you have a team that can play dirty football if you want to, because physically the Paraguayan couldn't move them. Even after the game, people are talking on the internet where the French weren't even playing. They were like, how? No, the Paraguayan started. They thought they could do the same thing they did to the German, to the French. No, the French had something the German don't have. The French had character. They have a player that can take you on and they can be aggressive just like you do. Because that's what happened in the second half. The first half was boring to watch. And French like got like 4 or 5 red yellow card. And the crazy part, Paraguay got only 1 yellow card. And it was at the end of the game. Because they will have to play outside, right? But when you take like Galaza, Miguel Almiron, we all know him. He was in Newcastle United and Atlanta United now in the MLS. And you have Enciso from Strasbourg. That's the player they have that play in Europe because Alderete play in Sunderland too. But overall, they were just like running around, kicking people, trying to pick up fight. But when the substitute came in the second half, Jeremy Due, because I did not understand why Barcola started this game, because Barcola is a player of a space, right? He needed space to run into it. And Paraguay wasn't given space. Paraguay didn't even play any forward football. The stat the statistic was crazy. Like the pass percentage, Paraguay had 57% pass percentage. Like it's crazy. Like as a professional player, you guys should be ashamed of yourself to be playing 90 minutes and 57% only of pass that were correct. That's a shameful. You do that in school, you fail your class. And you cannot do that in the last 16 against France. You have to have at least 60, 70%. France had 90% of the pass and 76 to 24. That's the position. And France had 15 shot, 5 on target. Like Paraguay had 5 and 1 in target. Let's be honest, the Paraguayan goalie was good. He was good because the game could have been worse. But Gil, he's good. Like I hope like there will be some good club that will take him because he have like the demeanor of Thibaut Courtois. But like I said, when Jerome Due came on in place of Barcola, Usman Dembele coming out for, I think Cherki came on in the second half, right? And you have, yeah, that's the only sub they did. Due came in, Cherki came in, and the game changed because those two can play in tight places, you know? And the game changed. Like France started to getting into the 18 yard and they kick Due out because that was a penalty. That was a clear penalty. I was pissed off of the referee because Velasquez could have gotten a red card when he kicked Mbappe when he was down. That was anti-football. They are the antichrist of football, and they themselves accept that because they didn't care. Even at the press conference, the coach was saying, "Well, we're playing against a team that are fighting for the Ballon d'Or, for the Golden Boot, and I have a player that don't know their father." It was crazy, like what I was hearing. I said, "What's going on? Like, what kind of team is this?" Because their defensive record is really good in the yeah, it's a common ball in the qualifier. They're good defensively. It's not like this team cannot play. They can play. They propose a better football. We saw that. You can play defensive without being too dumb about it. With that, will come to the Canadian game. We're gonna give you that. But they would say, well, Canada play like that, they lost 3-0, right? I mean, that's a point too. But you lost two. You lost 1-0. 1-0, 3-0, same thing. You both are going home. But overall, like Jeremy Due, the penalty rightfully given, and Kylian Mbappe stepped in and scored his seventh goal of the tournament is a 19 game, 19 goal for Kylian Mbappe. He have a same goal as Lionel Messi right now, 7-7. And we're gonna see what Erling Haaland gonna do tomorrow against Brazil. I think Brazil gonna eliminate them, but yeah, you never know. It's the Viking. So all I want to say is like, okay, France qualify. We all expected him to qualify. So, but we're gonna just talk about the team they are going to play next because there will be France against Morocco, the rematch of the 2022 semifinal. And Moroccan look, they play better football than in 2022. Morocco was the 2.0 of Paraguay, right? They had 4-4-2 compact and they have a ZS, and I think it was Elaine in no El Nasiri and at the front. That was the 2022. And this year, the Moroccan midfield is great. They are fantastic. They have even today, like they didn't Saibari got injured. I think he won't be playing the quarterfinal against France. But Bouaidi, El Ayoua, Ainawi, they're good. They're technical, really technical team. I can't wait to see what kind of football they're gonna propose against France because France is not a team that press a lot. So I'm guessing Morocco will have the ball because they have the player to do it. They've been a team that dominating games since the World Cup started. They dominated Brazil, they dominated Netherlands, they dominate every single team they play. But today they were playing against Canada, one of their other hosts. I think now we are getting into a position where like really a lot of teams gonna get eliminated just because of talent. Because running around is good. You can press all day, but if the talent is not there, a team that can run and have more talent will eliminate you. That's what happened to Canada today. They lost 3-0, but they lost just against a team that is better, 10 times better than them. But this is what I love about the Moroccan because they just show you if you invest into something, you're gonna pay off. That's what is happening to Morocco right now. The king spent a lot money in like on formation, like to have a better soccer culture in Morocco, and it's paying off. They won the U20 World Cup, they won the U20 Afghan Cup, and they won the Shan, which is an African local player. They won that too. And now they are back-to-back quarterfinal of World Cup, which is the first time an African team do that. And Morocco alone won more games than every other African team combined, and like Nigeria, Egypt, Algeria, every other team, because they have 4 or 5 wins now. And this year they're in the quarterfinal, they're gonna face France. But like I said, in the first half against Canada, it was a very tactical battle during which the Canadian did everything to cut off between the Moroccan midfield and their defense, and they were defending crazy, like Jonathan David or like Owasi. That pressing was on point. It was like a scientific work, bro. The Moroccan like couldn't do anything in the first half because they cut off all their avenue going forward. The midfield wasn't receiving a lot of ball because the pressure was there. But the problem was when the Canadian get the ball, they didn't do anything of it because the press really good. They get the ball, they don't create anything from it. So I think it's beautiful to be that pressing machine to press a lot, but if you don't do anything with the pressure, it's useless. That's what happened to them. I mean, they did a really good job. Brahimi did the assist to he had two assists to Onahi. We know Onahi is a really talented player, even though he didn't. He was in France. He played for Marseille. It didn't work out for him. I think he's a small club player. But right now, in when he come to Morocco, he's just a different player. And Brahimi, he allowed have four assists, just one behind Olise. So people will be talking a lot about Olise, Mbappe, and so. But Morocco, they have Sabari with 3 goals and Brahimi just with 4 assists. And the brace off from Onahi today was just pure midfielder because the Canadian did a really good job on containing the attack, but they forget Moroccan had a midfielder that can shoot. That's what happened. The 2 goal came from Onai. It was a beautiful 2 goal. It was a pure midfielder goal. The cross come back in and then they take it. Boom, the goalie couldn't see it. The first goal, the goalie couldn't see anything because they were the defender. It come from between the leg of some defender. And the second goal was a beautiful triangle between Hakimi and Brahimi that finished with Onai. It was like a 2-0. I mean, the second half it started very well because 50 minutes in, Moroccan score and then Canada tried to push, but they don't have enough talent to put this Moroccan team in danger. And of course, 30 minutes later, in the 82nd minute, Onai scored and killed the game. And of course, the last minute of the game, 90 plus 8, when the Canadian trying to score a goal, Moroccan had another counter attack. And of course, that was Rahimi scored. Sufyan Rahimi who scored. He came on for like the guy like what a Saibari position in the second half, and he scored the third goal. Great performance. They didn't concede a goal. They conceded some chances, but Bruno was there to save them. But overall, it was like the best team qualified, just like France. The best team qualified. Football won today, and that's what we want to see. That is what we want to see. So this is what I have for you today. Let me know below what you think about my analysis and what you think about the Paraguayan tactic. Would you accept your country to play like that, even though it's not fun, but they qualify to go forward? I know a lot of people will say yes, but I want to hear and see and read your perspective. So comment below what you think. And of course, Moroccan, we're gonna see Morocco, France. I can't wait. There is a rivalry, there is a colonial history, and there is a now good team history. We're gonna see what's gonna happen. Clearly, Morocco is the best team from Africa, and we're gonna see because we have another African there that is Egypt gonna be playing. Egypt will be playing against Argentina. So the bracket right now, we're gonna see tomorrow Brazil, Norway, and of course Mexico, England. And we have Argentina, Egypt that is set, Portugal, Spain set, like France, Morocco that's set. So we're gonna see what's gonna happen. Let me know below what you think. You guys stay safe, stay connected. Peace.